Nimmo has a grand slam already on this homestand. Got 3 for his career, 2 this year. And Brandon launches one deep right field. Back goes Judge to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here! Brandon Nimmo with another grand slam! Three nights ago, he got the Mets back on the winning track with his grand slam against the Brewers. And now Nimmo strikes again, this time in the first inning. And it's 4-0 Mets.
Most of the time when you're facing a lefty, the guys on the bench will say, go right-handed hitters. With this Mets team, left-handed hitters are getting it done.
Met left-hand hitters have a 760 OPS against lefties, 3rd best in the majors. Mets right-hand hitters, 625, 3rd lowest. Go figure. And Nimmo gets it done.
And Brandon
just takes a strike.
Sizzling.
3rd grand slam this season and the 4th of his career. 2nd one on this homestand.
Well, the pitch prior was a perfect slider. This one was not. Started right at Brandon, caught too much plate, especially being up 2 strikes. Tried to recreate the same pitch, wasn't able to do it.
Because he is the fastest guy in the starting lineup. And Marte cracks one to left field. Dominguez going back. It's over his head and off the base of the wall. Taylor will score. Marte holds it first as Dominguez played that carrot with his bare hand. Marte's 2nd hit of the day drives in a run, and it's 5-1 Mets.
Fastball, middle, belt high. Marte, very level swing.
Good fly ball right field, well hit. Judge going back near the wall. It's out of here. Pete Alonso goes the other way with a 2-run homer. Career home run number 245. He's 7 away from Strawberry. And the Mets now have a 7-2 lead.
Well, Keith, we're watching an early version of the home run derby here this afternoon.
This whole series. Opposite field home runs. We know Pete's got that kind of power. Ball's up in the strike zone. Belt high away. Doesn't try to pull it. That's the big blow right there.
Yep. Those 2 RBIs give Pete Alonso 656 RBIs as a Met. He passes Piazza for 3rd on the Mets all-time list, trailing now only David Wright and Darryl Strawberry.
70 on the season, Gary.
Now Lindor will try and move him along. And Francisco lines one into center field for a base hit. Mauricio being waved around 3rd. It's booted in center field by Grisham. Lindor heads for 2nd. He's in safely. Lindor with an RBI single. Grisham boots the ball. Mets lead at 8-5.
Boy, the Yankees are just stinking it up here in the field.
Grisham, a 2-time Gold Glover, but this is shades of his rookie season with the Brewers when he booted the ball by Juan Soto in a postseason game that helped propel the Nationals toward their world championship.
It was a great read by Mauricio.
Yeah.
He knew right away that it was a base hit. He had a little stumble coming into 3rd, and of course Lindor heads up all the time, taking the extra base. Grisham must have tried to look up to make the throw home.
Now Javian Sanders, the left-hander, will make his major league debut. First man he'll face in the major leagues, Juan Soto. It was his 10th home run against the Yankees, which is now the most for any Met against the Yankees. He had been tied with David Wright. And now a chance to add to this 8-5 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Lindor at 2nd, Soto at 1st, nobody out. And Alonso cracks one deep left field. Forget that. That is way out of here. Pete Alonso with his second of the day, a 3-run shot. First pitch, 3 runs. Alonso, 20 on the year. 246 now in his career. And it's 11-5 Mets.
Wow. First pitch, fastball.
Third time this year Pete's hit 2 in a game, 24th time in his career. And he's now just 6 behind Strawberry for the Mets all-time record. Well, a rude baptism in the big leagues for Javian Sandridge.
First pitch, fastball, down, right, out over the plate, right down the pipe.
First call for Pete. 2-run, 5 RBI game. Now has 73 runs batted in for the season.
Like the good old days.
To Soto. And he rips one to deep right field. Back goes Judge, and it's over his head and off the wall. Lindor around third. He'll score. Soto stops at first with a long single off the wall. And it's now 12-6 Mets. So Soto joins the hit parade and drives in his 51st run of the year.
Lindor with his 3rd run scored. Fourth run scored.
Hanging slide ball. Gosh.
Again, the 1-2. Hit hard to third. Diving stop by Beatty. Gets to his feet. One hop throw. In time, he got him. Side retired. Ball game over. Mets win it. Pete Alonso with a pair of home runs drives in 5. Brandon Nimmo gets the Mets started again with a first-inning grand slam. And the Mets pieced together a 2nd straight win against the Yankees. Their 4th straight win overall as the Mets win it 12-6.
Well, we talked coming into the series in this homestand as well that the offense was going to have to step up. And the Mets have just pounded Yankee pitching here. Grand slam again from Nimmo. Pete with a nice pick there to end the game. They've just overwhelmed the Yankee pitching.
Yeah, strong effort by Montas too, pitching into the 6th today.
Well, the Mets have pushed their pitching staff to the limit, and their offense has picked up the slack for what the pitchers have left on the table. And the Mets have now won 4 straight. Today's win is presented by Moomoo. Download the Moomoo app and you can win $1 million if the Mets reach 100 wins this season. Game summary presented by Verizon. Brandon Nimmo ties the Mets club record with his 3rd grand slam of the season. Pete Alonso hits 2 homers and drives in 5. Frankie Montas gets his first win as a Met. And the Mets have now won 3 of 5 from the Yankees this season.
Fastball. It can jam. High fly ball, right field and deep. Going back, Judge on the track at the wall. Grand slam for Nimmo.
Well, Flash, when things go bad, when it rains, it pours, and it's like the worst case scenario. You try to put a hitter away, and it ends up with a grand slam, a 4 spot here in the 1st inning.
Yeah, after yesterday's loss, the Yankees regroup and say, all right, we'll come out tomorrow and get him again. Well, we're not even through the 1st inning, down 4-0, and those negative thoughts come right back. But you're right, Rodon, who's been such a big strikeout pitcher, just makes a mistake with 2 strikes.
Yeah, that old saying, Flash, that, you throw a slider back to back. The second one's got to be better than the first. And whether it's your fault or not, if you're Rodon, you got to look at the scoreboard. You know, it's 4-1 that you're going to have to get down to saving runs. And this is one of those opportunities with an out right here. If you get out of this inning, try to save another run.
That's cracked to left field, and it's over the head of Dominguez. He plays the count, and he'll fire into second. It is an RBI single for Marte, and it's 5-1 Mets.
You talk about Marte, he's kind of a specialist against lefties. This ball was hit hard. Dominguez turned the wrong way on it immediately, so he's not going to have a chance to run it down. A four-seam fastball that's just kind of basically right there.
Rodon has been so good for the Yankees that to see this in the second inning, these hard-hit baseballs, this is surprising, and it's just adding to the struggles that the Yankees are going through.
That short hop, he came up so high that he actually had his glove like a first baseman. He didn't even turn around.
Deep fly ball right field. Judge back. That ball's gone. A 2-run home run for Alonso. And the Mets are up 7-2.
Well, you talk about a backbreaker. I mean, you feel like you're inching your way in for that big hit where the Yankees could run. All of a sudden, the big hit came from Pete Alonso. 7-2.
Well, he hasn't had a lot of hits in the Subway Series, but it seems like every time he comes up with a big home run swing. The fastball up, out, over the plate. Plenty of power for Alonso going the other way.
So Mauricio at second. Here's Lindor. Lined into center field. It is a base hit. Mauricio rounds third. The ball is booted by Grisham. Going to second is Lindor. The throw is not in time. It's 8-5 Mets.
Boy, how deflating is this when the Yankees put themselves in a situation down by 2 now here in the 7th inning. Back-to-back swings. You give up a run. You also boot a ball in center field. Lindor now in scoring position, and the momentum back on the Mets side.
Well, they tried to get a little more out of Efros after the 3 straight in the 7th. Then he gives up a pinch hit to Mauricio, and then Lindor an RBI single. And that's a big run for the Mets as Boone will call the bullpen with Soto coming up. So we'll get a look at Sandridge against Soto when we get back right here on Yes. Alonso with his home run in the 10th career home run against the Yanks, the most of any Met player against the Yankees.
If you're Sandridge and you're coming in, I mean, you're tougher out. As good as Juan Soto is, you're ahead in the count. You've got to go after him. The 3-2 slider away. Now, you don't have any wiggle room to pitch to a right-handed power hitter.
Driven deep to left field. See ya. A 3-run home run for Alonso. And the Mets are pulling away.
Well, you see Aaron Boone trying to pull all the right buttons, but it's just everything is backfiring. And that 3-2 slider, I know it's Juan Soto, but you've got to go after a lefty if you're a lefty, because sooner or later you're going to have to face Alonso. That's 3 more runs.
Well, you take a look at the first pitch heater right down the middle. Pete Alonso is not going to miss that pitch very often from a lefty.
And Alonso just gets a curtain call here at Citi Field. Drill to right field. Going back is Judge, and it's going to be off the wall. Lindor scores, Soto stops at first with a long RBI single. And the Mets have doubled the Yankees. It's 12-6.
A lot of conversation has been around Juan Soto not really getting it done with runners in scoring position. That seems to be changing lately as he gets that slider down and in. I don't know if he thought he got it. Ended up off the wall. Long single.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought he got it too. I mean, they're starting to pile it on now. Again, they
grounded, and a beautiful stab there by Beatty. Gets to his feet, fires, and the scoop by Alonso, and the Mets win 12-6. Yankees have lost 6 in a row, and this is the final out.
Yeah, great play. There's no doubt about it, and a good scoop over there by Alonso. But, you know, you look at this game, you talk about 6 in a row. 5 of those games, you look at back and think, we should have won those games. Today, not the case. You know, give up a grand slam early in the game. You fought back a few times. But the Mets just took total control of this game offensively.
Yeah, Carlos Rodon, the Yankee pitcher, one of the Yankee pitchers you feel like you have to win when he's out on the mound, just didn't have it today. Second 6-game losing streak this year for the Yankees.
Well, the Mets celebrate, and the Yankees trying to figure out how to get out of this slide. They're down 12-6 today. We'll come back.
That pitch, really, really tough to just pick it up that it's a slider.
1-2 the count. Now the pitch. Swing and a drive in the air to right. Pretty well hit. Judge going back onto the track near the wall. It's gone! A grand slam for Brandon Nimmo. His second salami in the last week. He hits it into the Mets bullpen in right field. Off the canopy. It brings home Marte. It brings home Lindor. It brings home Alonso. The Mets are leading by a score of 4-0. Home run number 18 for Nimmo.
Well, that slider, cement mixer this time. He threw him a great one the pitch prior. This one, a hanger over the middle of the plate. And for Nimmo, he's so smart. He's seen it once. He got a chance to see it again in a better spot. And hitters will always tell you, I'm hunting the mistake. And Rodon absolutely hung a slider to Nimmo, who's been Grand Slam happy this week.
So it is 4-0 Mets. Maybe Soto knew what he was doing because they were going to walk Alonso and then Nimmo would hit the home run. It all makes perfect sense now. Here's Vientos. First pitch to him is on the outside corner for a called strike, a fastball. Peraza keeping the runner Taylor close at second. Payoff pitch to Marte. Lined in the air to left. Back goes Dominguez. It's over his head. One hops the wall. Plays the carom cleanly. Taylor around third. He'll come home to score standing. The throw goes to second. It holds Marte to a single, but it's a single and a run batted in, and the Mets have a 5-1 lead.
Now, what a game for Starling Marte so far. The double in the first inning that sets the tone. This one, he just crushes right over Dominguez's head. And he's got Rodon's number early in this one. Meanwhile, Carlos Rodon's pitch count is soaring and soaring, and the Mets are whacking him around today.
So 5-1 Mets, and here is Lindor. Rodon's first pitch. So Lindor now moving down the line pretty aggressively at third as Chisholm drops back. The 1-0 swung on it high in the air to right field and deep. Judge going back. It's gone! Pete Alonso hits one off the canopy of the Payson Cadillac Club in right field. Alonso's 19th home run of the year, number 245 lifetime, just 7 behind Darryl Strawberry's all-time franchise record. 2-run home run. Pete Alonso, Mets 7, Yankees 2 here in the 5th inning.
And now more home runs than any other Met against the Yankees. Remember, he and David Wright were tied with 9 each. This one, a pretty one out to right center for his 10th all-time against the Yankees. And there's Rodon sticking his tongue out, shaking his head. Boy, the Mets just hit the right home runs against him today.
7-2 Mets. Nimmo accounted for 4 with one swing his first time.
But now it's 7-5, and so a chance to really make some hay against Efros. Here's Lindor, first pitch. Line to center field, falling fast. Base hit for Lindor. Mauricio rounds third. Grisham bobbles the ball. Mauricio scores. Throw to second. Not in time. Lindor there too. 8-5 Mets in the 7th. Grisham maybe had a play in center, but we'll never know now as he's bobbled the ball. The Yankees have kicked it around all year, and the Mets make them pay. Mauricio doubles and scores. 3-run lead. Here comes Aaron Boone. What a change. Boy, the Yankees, you can feel just a little bit of that momentum until Mauricio banged one up the gut. Lindor brings him in. And so this pitching change and slowdown in action is brought to you by Iservay.
One thing that's been surprising about Pete, who's had a good, solid all-around year, is that he hasn't hit lefties. He's only hit .217 against the lefties, and this is where you look for him to do some damage.
Nobody out. Runners lead first and second. Sandridge with that beard deals home. And Pete crushes one. Deep left field. This one is way back. Gone. A 3-run Bombosa for Pete Alonso. Second home run of the day. 11-5 Met lead over the Yankees at Citi Field. This place is rocking.
He hit that lefty.
He absolutely did for his 246th career Met home run. 11th against the Yankees, the most of any Met one-on-one against the Bombers. And it's been the Mets who have been bombing back today. Oh, what a shot from Pete Alonso. First one went out to right. This one goes out to the back of the lower seating ball in left. 392 feet. And now Nimmo, who had a grand slam earlier. Pitch misses outside with ball one. You know, the thing about power hitters, they come in bunches, and Pete has done more than just be a power hitter this year. Has hit close to 280, 290. So he's had doubles. He leads the NL in doubles. He's not a boom or bust hitter.
He just took a curtain call. We don't see many of those these days.
Oh, look at that. Maybe this is the start of the next power trip for Pete, who has got his eyes set on Darryl Strawberry. It says, Ma. We figured that out, Howie. Thank goodness.
You sure do have a young child at home. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a drive, well hit to right. Back goes Judge, reaches up, can't get it, hits the top of the wall. Lindor rounds third. He's coming home. Judge plays it in on one hop to second, and Soto is on at first. He'll hold there with an RBI single, and it is now 12-6 Mets.
As much as the Yankees have grabbed a run here, grabbed a home run there, it is the Mets every time up after that going, no, don't worry about it. We got it. We'll add a couple more. This one was a bullet, 109 off the bat. That made a dent in that fence out in right field in front of the Met bullpen.
So Lindor scores, stops them. If Judge keeps it going, Cody Bellinger would be next. Diaz to the belt, the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground wide of third, diving stop by Beatty. Gets up, throws on one hop, out at first, put it in the books. Aaron Judge thrown out as Brett Beatty punctuates this Mets win with a great diving stop. Alonso makes the play on the one-hop throw from Beatty, and the Mets have made it 2 in a row against the Yankees. For the Mets, it's a 4-game winning streak. For the Yankees, a 6-game losing streak. In the 9th inning for the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. No save for Edwin Diaz, but he gets the job done. The final score, the New York Mets 12 and the New York Yankees 6. Back to talk about it in a moment on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Murano.
Let's go Mets!
Summer blood pressure will ease up a little bit. Here's the 1-2 from Rodon. The pitch swung on, drive to right field, deep, going back Judge on the track, looking up, it's gone. A grand slam for Brandon Nimmo. 4-0 Mets in the first inning.
Oh my goodness. Well, Judge went back as much as he could right near there's about 365 there, went into the bullpen.
That is how you start a game. Oh my goodness.
Moly.
Wow. Nice, easy swing. Got it on the barrel and drove it a great distance for a grand slam.
And just, they are very aggressive. And people who have gotten Rodon swing the first or second pitch because they know he's going to try and get in. He doesn't want to get behind, and Rodon's looking at that. And Judge went into one of those, mesh windows that they've got out there. Holy moly.
4-0 in the first inning, 1 out here at Citi Field. Mets on top. Here's Mark Vientos. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Marte. Nobody out here in the home second. The pitch. Swung on, line drive in the left field. Twisting, turning. Gets over the head of Dominguez. Bounces off the wall. Coming in to score is Taylor. A line drive single RBI by Starling Marte. It's 5-1 Mets.
And Marte, even after all these injuries, he's now 19 for his last 57. That's over 320.
Ball was hit. It's so true. The ball's hit right at you, hit that hard. He turned left, and then he turned right, and it was over his head. Good news, Marte is only at first base.
Well, he did stop enough and play it well off the wall.
2 out. And Lindor. He's at third. Here's a pitch. Hit a long way. Right field. Judge going back. Goodbye. Pete Alonso, Oppo power, 2-run shot, 7-2 Mets here in the 5th. For Pete, home run number 19, RBI 69 and 70.
On the roof of what they call that little party section out there, their field level seats next to the bullpen, exit velocity 106 miles an hour. That landed right on the roof.
That's some strength right there.
Yeah.
So Pete Alonso drives one the other way. Lindor scores in front of him. Second home run hit by the Mets today. They got a grand slam from Nimmo, who's at the dish right now, back in the first inning. So leadoff guy is aboard. Here's Lindor. 2 walks, a strikeout. He's got a stolen base. Line drive center field. That's going to get down. Mauricio got a good start. Grisham charges, bobbles the ball out there. Mauricio scores. Taking the extra base. Head first slide. Lindor, he's in safely.
So that should be a single and an error on Grisham, allowing Lindor to get to second base. But everything in the middle of the plate here, everything is a little up. These past couple of pitches going into this inning. And here comes Aaron Boone.
So base hit to center, RBI, takes second, E8, second error today for the Yankees.
And we'll be back after this on WFAN Yankees Radio.
Wells going through the defensive side for the infield. First and second. Nobody out. 8-5 Mets. There's a pitch. Swung on high drive left field.
Oh boy.
Gone way out. 8 rows back. Pete Alonso, 3-run homer. Double figures for the Mets. 8-5, his second. 11-5, beg your pardon. His second home run today. This is a 3-run shot. The 5 RBI day, 3 times scored for Pete. Wow.
And this is getting embarrassing between lack of pitching and sloppy defense.
Boy, they're putting it on them. 3-run, no doubt about it. Pete Alonso, 2 home runs today, gives him 20. The 5 RBI total takes him to 73.
Interesting.
2-2.
Interesting year.
Lindor at second. Here's pitch. There's a drive deep to right. Going back, Judge hits the fence. Lindor coming around. And Soto only gets a single out of it. I didn't watch him, but clearly he must have stood there and admired it. But he drives in a run, and the Mets have a 12-5 lead. And halfway up the fence near the 370 mark.
Well, it came right back to Judge, and he's not going to run on side. I want to see what Soto did. He hits that.
Well, he went into a home run shot.
Yeah, he thought it was out.
There's Alonso. He's homered his last 2 times up. A 2-run shot, a 3-run shot. First pitch out. Tough afternoon for the Yankees. Diaz set. The 1-2 to Judge. The pitch. Swing on, hit down to third base. Diving play by Beatty. gets up, throws, one hop, dug out by Alonso. Ball game over. Big time win by the Mets, 12-6. They win this series. The season Subway Series now goes to their favorite 3 wins against 2 losses. And boy, are the Yankees going to be depending and leaning heavily on Max Fried to go deep and pitch really well tomorrow afternoon. Little doubt about this game. 12-6 final. Mets win. Totals coming your way after this timeout on WFAN Yankees Radio, driven by Jeep.